Today, I want to walk you through what actually changed in the Folsom housing market over the last year. This is based on real MLS sold data, not the headlines. If you've been hearing things like prices are up, homes are sitting, or buyers have all the power, this video is going to give you the context that those headlines leave out. I'm going to break down what the numbers really say, why outcomes looked so different from home to home, even ones in the same neighborhood. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming the market is either good or bad across the board. This isn't true. Real estate is hyper-local. Two homes in the same neighborhood can have completely different results in the same month. So everything I'm sharing today is based on MLS sold data for single-family homes in the city of Folsom, comparing full 2024 to full year 2025. And once you look at the data that way, the story becomes much clearer. Let's start with prices. The median sale price in Folsom went from $763,000 in 2024 to $780,000 in 2025. That's about a 2.2% increase year over year. What does that tell us? It tells us prices held and edged up slightly. This was not a market where values fell off a cliff, but it also wasn't a runaway appreciation year. What's interesting is that price per square foot stayed essentially flat. That tells us buyers were still willing to pay for the right homes, but they weren't rewarding overpricing. This is where strategy starts to really matter. I can't emphasize that enough. Next, days on market. Median days on market went from 15 days to 20 days. That sounds dramatic when you hear 33% increase, but context matters. 20 days is still a very healthy market. What changed is that homes no longer sold automatically. Presentation, pricing, and timing started to matter again. This is the stat that most people overlook, and it's one of the most important ones that you can look at. In 2024, about 26% of homes sold with concessions. In 2025, that number dropped to about 13%. That means that seller concessions were cut nearly in half. That's a huge number and a huge difference year over year. Despite higher interest rates and longer days on market, well-prepared sellers often didn't need to give up as much as people expected. This tells us that the market didn't universally favor buyers or sellers. It favored being prepared no matter what the situation. When you put all of this together, the takeaway is very simple. The market did not decide outcomes last year. Strategy did. Homes that were priced right, presented well, and launched with a clear plan of action still sold. Homes that missed the mark sat longer or required adjustments. That's why headlines don't always help much. Headlines talk about averages. Buyers and sellers live in specifics. So what does this mean as we head into 2026? It means we are in a market where buyers are thoughtful, sellers need a plan, and timing matters far less than execution. This is not a frenzy market, and it's not a weak one either. It's a market that rewards good decisions. For buyers, preparation and strong guidance matter. For sellers, pricing and presentation are critical from day one. If you're buying or selling in the city of Folsom and trying to figure out what this market means for your specific situation, that's where local data and strategy come in. I'm always happy to talk it through, because no two homes and no two goals are the same. If this breakdown was helpful for you, make sure to hit the subscribe button for future local market updates, and I'll see you in the next video.